The main mission of the Center of Excellence of Mass Spectrometry is to train students in mass spectrometry and also to help develop their research and further research in mass spectrometry methods.
What sets the Bear School apart from other science colleges is the access that students have to state-of-the-art equipment and some of what I feel are the best faculty in the country. Students get to participate in real-world research, become part of top-tier publications along with their faculty mentors, and it prepares them for their future, be it in graduate school, medical school, or industry.
We're one of the 3 centers of excellence in the United States of America. The center supports the other faculty who are doing research, who need the center to get the metrology or the measurements for their science. Now, their graduate students and their undergraduate students all work in the center to get that data.
Undergraduate research and graduate research, the combination together is really the centerpiece of our education. And so things like the Center for Mass Spectrometry, the Center for Computational Sciences really combine those things in the best possible way.
The center has very, very sophisticated equipment. We have roughly $3 million of adjunct equipment, and some parts are interchangeable from one instrument to another. And we may reconfigure the instruments to do a special analytical process that just couldn't be done if we didn't have multiple instruments that were that compatible.
In my research lab, I get to work with the ICP-MS, which is the inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometer. And in the rest of the labs, which is required for my major, I get to work with things like the QTOF, the NMR. It helps me understand what's really going on in the reactions that we do in the labs.
The students in the center actually are developing new biomarkers for medical assessment. These are methods that actually require this high-end technology and equipment. One of the examples is, at the current time, it takes about 3 days to do 12 or 14 drugs of abuse in a patient which, say, is deceased from an overdose. We managed to get that down to half an hour and do all of them simultaneously. Now, that's tremendous advantage to our law enforcement and to all sorts of laboratories that do this kind of work.
Our DNA lab is a fully operational forensic DNA lab. So in the first room, it's filled with fume hoods and lab benches, and that's where students perform DNA extractions. In the second room is where we have all of our instrumentation. So that includes DNA quantification, DNA amplification, and DNA separation technology.
We have a couple of very important projects in the Center for Mass Spectrometry. One of the most important projects is our blood marker project. The blood marker project is where students study real patients' blood, and they then look for markers for different disease states. And then other scientists can look at those disease states and develop therapies for the patients that they're serving.
Undergraduate students working in research labs are working shoulder to shoulder not only with their faculty mentor and advisor, but with postdoctoral students and graduate students as well.
The URP is the undergraduate research program, and it gives these students an opportunity to do hands-on research side by side with the graduate students and faculty. We, the researchers in chemistry and biology, create opportunities for students to come in and do real bench research as undergraduates. And they're treated just like the graduate students. They're in the thick of doing research day in and day out.
I think what makes the Agilent Center for Excellence in Mass Spectrometry really unique is the fact the amount of instruments that Duquesne has based on the size of school that Duquesne is. And there's a lot of resources available to students, both undergrad and graduate level, to allow them to have access to that facility anytime they need to do any part of their research.
My education is really preparing me for going into industry. Because Duquesne doesn't have technicians running all of our instruments, I've learned a very wide array of instruments that would make me a valuable candidate.
The faculty in the Bear School, I would say, are some of the best faculty that you could find in a science school. They choose to be at Duquesne University because of the mission of the university and because of the fact that they want to work with students and they want to educate students. And the fact that they work with students in such a way that they become part of their publications and are really just incorporated into every aspect of science that they're doing in their laboratories gives them the experience to be the scientists of tomorrow.